The dawn of the 21st century saw the world's powers shift away from the traditional state structure in favor of economic blocs. Full-blown wars became things of the past, though proxy wars stubbornly persisted. Such conflicts gave rise to Wanzers, bipedal weaponry capable of fighting across all types of terrain. The very advent of these revolutionary machines, however, spawned new disputes. For all its efforts to forge a better world, humanity had learned nothing. December 2127. The Republic of Garmonia, located near the Black Sea, abruptly declared war on its neighbor, the Republic of Ruthenia, when it invaded the border city wedged between the two countries, Novoslava. The sudden attack overwhelmed the Ruthenia Army Defense Forces, and it seemed the battle was over in the blink of an eye. And yet, for those bloodied but unbowed survivors caught in the ensuing chaos, the fight was only just beginning.
This is Staff Sergeant Mikhail Shuvalov of the Ruthenia Army, 2nd Mobile Platoon. My mech was badly damaged in the fighting. I can't restart it. The body caught fire. It's completely burnt. Koshka, please report. Come on, Koshka. Answer me! Damn it! Perfect. Just perfect. What am I supposed to do?
Don't let anyone get out of here alive. Shoot to kill.
I'm not dying here.
Yes, sir. All of them? Understood. I'll see to it right away.
Wait, civilians? Nothing they can do to them. The hell? Son of a...
One down. Let's keep looking around here. Orders are to exterminate every last Ruthenian rat we find. We have to be thorough.
Roger that.
If the transmission from an hour ago is to be believed, there should be some survivors in the area. I sent you the location. Go. You have to survive. How am I supposed to look after you in this state? Go get us some help.
Quit acting all tough, old man.
I must be at death's door for you to be fussing over me. But I appreciate it. You be careful out there.
You know, I really did think there had to be at least one or two Ruthenians with some semblance of a spine. Come on. At least pick up your gun. This is war. Rookie or veteran, one misstep will get you killed. You like baseball? I can't get enough of it. 3 strikes and you're out. And you've already got one. I wouldn't talk like that if I were you. Strike two. Think long and think hard. You've only got one more chance. Three strikes and you're dead. That's baseball for you, rookie. Now the game is over. It's me. What is it? Understood. I'll come meet you. Break time, rookie. Maybe we'll get to play again sometime. If you live that long.
HQ, come in. This is Captain Olga Kalanina. It's 3 p.m. I'm on my way to talk to a person of interest regarding the disappearances happening all over Novoslava. A man by the name of Dr. Lavrov seems to be involved. If I can't find him by 5 p.m., I'll return to HQ. Over and out.
Olga, I thought I made myself perfectly clear when I told you not to go out without backup again. You need to take a partner, especially to that part of the city. It's dangerous.
Yes, sir, I can see that. Considering the Ruthenian army is here. I don't remember them saying anything about stationing troops in this area.
They're here already, are they? It's an emergency deployment. Seems like there's been some sort of skirmish near the Garmonian border. They've also asked that the police cooperate with them however we can.
Skirmish, huh? Give me a break.
We're still waiting on the details. Once you get back, we'll send you all to accompany the troops. Over and out.
Haven't I done all you asked? Don't act like you don't remember. I got you all those girls. All the ones you wanted. Antonina, Irina, Serafima. I have records of all of them. If you kill me now...
Lieutenant Borden.
Actually, it's Major Olga. How long has it been since you served under me? 3 years? And now you're a Ruthenian dog. You were the best of the best. And I still see that same arrogance in your eyes.
That was Dr. Lavrov you just killed, wasn't it? How are you involved with him?
I see no reason to tell you. Besides, we're in the middle of a war. So what if I kill 1 or 2 people from the country we're fighting? Oh, he is? What a relief. That just means there's one less piece of filth the world has to worry about. Some people deserve to die. I suppose that's something you'll never understand. But now that you've returned to me, I'm happy to start your training all over again. I really was sorry to hear about your daughter. Hard to believe it's been 3 years since then. I don't understand you. It was these fool Ruthenians that killed your daughter in the first place.
You were working with Lavrov. Don't try to tell me you had nothing to do with all the people that went missing.
Enough of these wild delusions. Apparently I didn't train you as well as I should have. Come now, Olga. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Novoslava is finished no matter what you do.
Don't underestimate me. I am not who I used to be.
What is it? Yeah, all right. I'm on my way. Apologies, Olga. But I've got to take care of this. The vermin in this city won't exterminate themselves. She's a little worked up. Why don't you give her something else to think about?
The enemy soldiers are regrouping. They have you surrounded. Prepare for a counterattack.
Looks like I made it out all right. I better hurry up and find the Ruthenian army.
Reports are coming in that our troops are outnumbered all throughout Novoslava. There is also word that Garmonia is sending further reinforcements over the eastern border.
This can't be happening. Tell me where our troops are.
There is a unit currently engaged in combat on the west side of the city, but it is too dangerous there.
I don't know if you've noticed, but it's dangerous everywhere. I'm going.
Koshka, how's the battle going?
The Garmonia army is advancing throughout Novoslava. Our troops are resisting wherever they can, but they cannot put up an organized fight.
Are there any ally units close by?
Several members of the 14th Platoon are engaged in battle in your vicinity, transmitting coordinates to your device. The enemy seems to be deploying troops to clean up the area. I advise you act quickly. 23 minutes have passed since you last moved.
That's just a nice way of saying, move your ass, Mikhail, isn't it?
Be alert. Someone is approaching you from behind.
Apologies, mon ami. I wasn't trying to sneak up on you. The name's Patrick Lemaire. I'm a freelance reporter.
Immigration records confirmed. Patrick Lemaire, a combat journalist born in EC, France. He has written numerous articles for Lancaster Press Company and other mainstream media outlets.
Meaning he's not the enemy.
I take it you believe me, then. See, I just want to ask you a few questions. I've been watching you for a while now. You're a born survivor. You don't take any risks you don't have to, shirking danger like it's second nature. Everybody ought to put their own life first, ahead of anyone else's. Even soldiers. Didn't you know? The Ruthenian army decided to retreat from Novoslava.
What do you mean, retreat? The battle just barely started.
Still, the truth is your friends keep pulling back further and further. The only ones left in the city are survivors like you, and the Garmonians hunting them down. Find a way to survive. That's been your only option since the beginning.
They sent us here to die.
Well, now for the good news. I had a guaranteed way to get you out of this mess. But there's something I need you to do for me.
And what's that exactly?
First, I want to put you to the test a bit more. Let's meet up again later. After all, you were heading somewhere when I stopped you. Perhaps it's best you hurry along. Once you're finished with your errand, I'll get in touch. Not too shabby. So about that thing I wanted you to do for me. Of course I do. Otherwise, I'd be stuck here too. There's this secret I'm after. There's more to this war than meets the eye. At least that's what I believe. I don't care if you trust me as a person or not. All this is a simple give and take.
What do you think, Koshka?
From the sound of his voice, I believe what he says is credible. He is not lying. But this analysis is only valid for what he has said thus far. It is possible he is still withholding information.
Looks like the only thing I can do is go along with him after all.
Okay. All I require is that you rescue a certain civilian from inside the city.
What civilian?
The target. is Novoslava Councilman Vladimir Bunin. That big shot was an official at Zaporanovo Authority for several years. But just recently was elected as a councilman. There's a chance that he holds the flame that ignited this war.
What are you talking about?
A couple years ago, the plans for a new Wanza model was stolen from the UCS. Or to be more exact, they found evidence that they'd been illegally copied. You didn't hear about that. Well, I guess a lot of heads would roll if that info had leaked. Anyway, the best guess anyone had for where those copied plans ended up was here, in Novoslava. You need the right resources if you're going to manufacture Wanzas. Having the Port and Arbor Authority under your thumb would be ideal. I'm sure even you know about the group that fought tooth and nail for Novoslava's liberation. He was one of the ones at the top, organizing the whole thing. Leveraging that is what got him elected to the council. Ever since, he's been growing more and more powerful. More powerful than any councilman could ever hope to be. There's plenty of talk that there's a dark underbelly to his triumphs.
What does any of this have to do with the war?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. But what if the real reason for this sudden invasion was to bury the truth? I know it sounds crazy, but it's not impossible. That's why I want to speak with Bunin myself. I have proof Bunin's alive and well. He sent an SOS from the Konakov Council building. But I'm not going to stand here all day talking your ear off. You in? Then we have an arrangement. You keep him alive for me. I'll tell you how to get out of here. Better hurry. You won't live forever.
How's the rest of the city faring, Koshka? What's going on with the Ruthenian army?
The defense forces are retreating from this area. Retreating troops are heading westward. It seems the plan is to regroup at the harbor.
Then there's no point in staying here much longer.
Collecting footage of the area. The safest route to the harbor is through the sewers. Borodin's soldiers are in the city. Take care not to run into them.
He always has been like a dog with a bone. Some things never change.
Olga, there is a Ruthenian soldier nearby being pursued by the enemy.
A survivor?
Staff Sergeant Mikhail Shuvalov of the 2nd Mobile Platoon. He is safeguarding a civilian and is considerably exhausted. Transmitting the information to your device.
Finally, some help. Wait, you're a civilian?
Not who you were hoping for, I can leave.
No, wait. I'll take whatever help I can get. Beggars can't be choosers.
That girl. I saw her in the slums. Is she alive?
Yeah.
Enemy soldiers. Prepare to intercept.
You take care of the girl. I'll handle the hostiles.
No sign of the enemy nearby. It is safe for the time being.
You did well out there. For a civvy.
I suppose the Ruthenian army is too busy to drill any manners into its soldiers. This is why I hate the military.
Well, she's bleeding a little. It doesn't look like more than a scratch. She'll wake up soon. Take the girl and get to the shelter. I'll go get help. With things the way they are, that's the only option.
I'm not so sure about that. I bet you're nicer than you look. But I honestly don't know if you're capable.
Do all cops have a hero complex, or is it just you? Letting a civilian get involved won't cause me anything but trouble.
I'm just worried about her. I have a responsibility to protect her.
We're in the middle of a war. Now is not the time to go sticking your neck out when you don't have to. Get your head on straight.
This conversation is a waste of time. I'm getting her to the shelter, and I'm finding help. Alone.
Whatever makes you happy.
Well, good morning. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. I'll protect you.
Don't touch me!
Wait! Come back! What was that about? He didn't look like military. I swear I've seen his face before. Somewhere.
Match found. Ruslan Ismailov, former leader of NGFP, the group that fought for Novoslava's liberation. He was confirmed dead 2 years ago, in April of 2125.
The hero of Novoslava's revolution? That can't be him, he's dead. He was assassinated right after the city was liberated.
That is correct. His face is a 98.3% match to images on file. Barring the existence of an identical twin, it is unlikely that was anyone else.
A twin. Wouldn't that be convenient? But then... who was that?
Don't move.
I believe that's my line, Mr. Dead Man. You... aren't Ruslan.
Ruslan? Why did you say that name? Tell me what's going on.
Ruslan Ismailov, Novoslava's fallen hero, was just here.
He was here? What are you talking about? He's dead.
Honestly, I don't quite believe it myself. I know he was assassinated. By someone called...
Leonid Osterman, a former member of Ruslan's liberation group. He was arrested, charged with murder, and sentenced to death. There are records that his punishment was carried out that same year.
Where is he? Where did Ruslan go?
He left. You just missed him. Who was that guy?
That was Leonid Osterman, a former member of Ruslan's liberation group. He was charged with murder and sentenced to death. There are records that his punishment was carried out that same year. Inexplicably, both his appearance and voice print match the records.
Another ghost.
Olga, I have bad news. A short time ago, the Ruthenia army decided to retreat from Novoslava.
What do you mean, retreat? It hasn't even been half a day. Koshka, is there any other way I can meet up with the army?
Continue west as planned. There are private container ships moored in the harbor. It is possible to escape if you are able to board one.
The Garmonians are heading to the harbor too, aren't they? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Tell me where Ruslan is. I'm going after him.
Leonid Osterman, former elite of NGFP, the group that fought for Novoslava's liberation. Sentenced to death for murdering Ruslan, the group's leader, and executed later that year. Official records confirm the death of condemned inmate D105. You. I am unsure how to best classify your existence.
I was falsely accused. Overwrite those damned records. Truth is, I'm still kicking. Classify me however you like.
I will reserve judgment until the present situation has been dealt with. For the moment, you are now under my supervision, D-105.
Piece of crap AI.
The Garmonia army is patrolling the perimeter. I advise you acquire a weapon immediately.
I'll arm myself later. Find Ruslan first.
Searching for camera footage to analyze. Ruslan Ismailov is not in the vicinity.
He can't have gotten that far yet. Not a single survivor. Damn Garmonians.
Leonid?
Sophie?
How?
You were meeting Ruslan here, weren't you?
Tell me why you killed
Where is he?
Ruslan! Ruslan's alive? After Ruslan died, and you were arrested, the rest of the movement thought...
I know, but he's here. My AI saw him too. I'm not lying. Besides, I think I would have remembered killing him. I was framed! If Ruslan's alive, then I can only imagine I have him to blame for it.
He's really alive.
Yeah, yippee. I've been rotting away inside a prison cell since the day they cuffed me, trying to figure out why. Someone fingered me for his death. I knew that much. But he wasn't dead. He pulled the wool over all of our eyes. He's the one who pinned the guilt on me!
Leo, stop! Just... give me a second to take this all in. You're wrong. I don't think that at all. I just... You are dead too, Leo. They executed you. I don't know what's true and what isn't anymore.
Forget it. I'm going after Ruslan.
Wait! You were Ruslan's right-hand man. Losing both of you at the same time? How do you think that felt? How are we supposed to keep fighting? We may have accomplished what we set out to do, but then the group collapsed, tearing itself apart from the inside. What were we supposed to do? We were all just... The friends you knew are all gone. Wait. I promise it's not another sob story. There's something I want to show you. It's about Ruslan. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, so I want you to see it for yourself. Meet me at that bar we used to go to all the time. Maybe then you'll find the truth.
I need to go east. Find me a way out of here.
Nearly everything east of here is under Garmonian control. I do not advise going that way.
I don't care. Just do it.
Understood, D-105. Transmitting point of egress to your device.
You mean to tell me finding a single child escapes you? She is to be captured on sight! Do you understand? Do not kill her!
What are they chasing down a kid for?
Collecting footage of the area. Located the person in question. Match found. Yulia Smirnova, 9 years old, an orphan from a foster facility called Like Family. She is quite skilled at moving between the camera's blind spots. I cannot determine her exact location.
Why are they so desperate to get their hands on a foster kid? She's not my responsibility, but I can't just leave her to the sharks. I better clear them out of this part of town.
Kill it!
I should have brought my swimsuit!
Costa to D105. Your device is taking on water. The exterior has been sleep tested.
He said Boonin was at the Konnikov Council building, right? I haven't been there since a field trip we took for social studies in school.
The Garmonian forces occupy the surrounding area. Please proceed with caution, Mikhail. Also, I have new information about Mr. Boonin. He is taking measures to transport the illicit Wanzer to the harbor.
What? Where did you hear that?
From a civilian trying to escape the city. Captain Olga Kalinina of the Novoslava City Police.
Her again? That cop just doesn't know when to quit. Hold on. If that's true, then... Sounds like scum. But he's still a civilian. I can't just abandon him.
You have grown into a fine man, Mikhail. That is an exemplary attitude.
Gee, thanks. I'm glad I make you proud. Well, no time to waste. Staff Sergeant Mikhail Shuvalov of the 2nd Mobile Platoon, commencing civilian rescue.
Ah! Don't come near me! Stay away!
Is this loudmouth him, Koshka?
Match confirmed. This is indeed Councilman Vladimir Boonin.
Hey, calm down. Calm down. My name is Staff Sergeant Mikhail Shuvalov of the Ruthenia Army. 2nd Mobile Platoon. I'm getting you out of here.
What? You're one of us? Why didn't you start with that? Maybe Lena would still be alive if you hadn't taken your damn time getting here! Oh, my poor Lena.
Come on, we gotta go!
Wait! Where's my passport? Let me empty out my safe!
Koshka to Mikhail. Enemy forces are approaching the council building. It is possible they are aware of your presence. Prepare to engage.
I'd have plenty of time to run if I didn't have this bag of air to worry about.
Mikhail.
I know. I'll get ready.
You sure are taking your sweet time getting me out of here, kid.
Keep your voice down. I know it looks like I took care of those guys, but who knows if any reinforcements are on their way. We gotta get out of here.
Right. You're right. Hey, you sure showed those assholes. Okay. Just wait. I gotta get that data. I can't just leave it here.
Just make it quick. I'll wait for you downstairs in the lobby.
Not too shabby, kid. I had to make you my personal bodyguard. Come on! I'm dying for a breath of fresh air.
Wait! You idiot! Damn it! I didn't come all this way just to have him die on me like that.
I'm impressed, rookie. I didn't think I'd see you alive again. Now those are the eyes of a soldier. You just never know what'll happen on the battlefield. Even useless dopes like you make it out sometimes on sheer stubbornness alone. What's your name, anyway?
Staff Sergeant Mikhail Shuvalov, Ruthenia Army, 2nd Mobile Platoon. Now you. I want to know who I'm playing against.
Now that's a question. Are we abandoning baseball for guessing games?
His pilot suit resembles those used by the Zaftra army. It is highly possible that Zaftra sent him to collaborate with the Garmonia army.
Zaftra's involved in this?
AI takes the mystery out of everything.
A Wanzer pilot. Just like me.
Just like you? Don't make me laugh. Get up. The game's not over yet. Run, Mikhail. Run for your life!
Damn it!
Over here! Come on!
You saved me.
You don't look like a soldier.
Who are you?
Someone way more used to this kind of scene than you are. Don't they teach rookies not to go wandering around on their own anymore? Where's the rest of your unit?
They got everyone. Even my old fart of a commander.
Figures. Was it your fault?
Say that again! I swear to God!
You're a coward. Only cowards get so riled up so quick. You hide behind your outrage, so you don't have to face your fear.
What do you know?
Oh, I know. I know exactly how scared you are. I saw plenty of people like you when I was a mercenary. Cowards like you get their friends killed. And then eventually they get themselves killed. I did what I could to save some of them, but they never stayed safe for long. What are you afraid of? The enemy? Dying? Of course I'm afraid. Quit trying to fool yourself. You're weak. But you're not the only one. You, me, everyone, we're all helpless. Sometimes things just don't go as planned. The moment you realize that is the moment you get strong.
I get it. No, on second thought, I definitely don't. Still, I am grateful. This is you rescuing me, right?
You have some nerve, punk. Though I can't say I'm surprised. You're all like that.
You're thinking of running, aren't you? That's a prison uniform, if I'm not mistaken. You're an escaped convict.
He is condemned inmate D-105. Leonid Osterman, former elite of NGFP, the group that fought for Novoslava's liberation. Official records confirm his execution was carried out.
What are you saying? This old man's dead?
I got something I need to do. I'm not running anywhere till it gets done. Hate to break it to you, but this is goodbye. I'm not saving you. I'm only interested in finding the guy that stabbed me in the back. I don't feel like explaining it to you.
So, what are you gonna do with this guy when you find him? Kill him? After he's dead, then what? Will your life start going as planned after that?
You. What the hell do you know?
Enough to know that everything I just said was right on target. Wasn't it? Well, I better get going. Thanks for saving me back there. See you again someday. If we both make it out of this place alive.
Ah, there you are. Hey, shouldn't there be two of you? I see. Which means you failed to hold up your end of the bargain.
Wait! I know where the Wanzer is. In the harbor.
I'd have preferred to hear that from the source himself, but... The harbor? Are you sure?
This belonged to Boonin. I bet you anything he kept records on this thing.
I have information which supplements what was found on Boonin's memory card. Once they finished manufacturing the Wanzer in the slums, they transported it to the harbor.
So they used an old car factory in the slums as their manufacturing plant, eh? Makes sense. No one would see them there. Not to mention, that's one of his old aunts. He used to belong to that liberation group. He was the only one of them that went anywhere. His old friends live in the slums. My guess is he made them help. That way his secret would be well kept. And maybe even wanted to give his friends some cash. I see. But it's too... easy.
What are you talking about?
I doubt this information is false, but... something smells.
There's something else you want me to do, isn't there?
Your instincts are as sharp as ever. Don't you want to know why all of this is happening to you? Thought so. Then help me. If you don't, the truth will never see the light of day. Go check out that old factory in the slums. If there are any answers to be found, that's where they'll be. I'll make my way to the arbor, and we'll meet up again there.
Scan complete. There are countless Wanzers in the area. The enemy has already taken control of the harbor.
See any ship I might be able to escape on?
There is a detained container ship moored in the harbor.
What about the Wanzer I'm after? Do they already have it?
I see nothing like that. Its current location is unclear.
Having a Wanzer sure would make this whole escape thing a lot easier. Looks like I'll have to investigate. Any guesses as to where their commander might be?
It is difficult to say with certainty. Transmitting multiple 10 coordinates to your device. The enemy is vigilant. Please proceed with caution and avoid engaging in combat.
What? What are you doing here? Are you all right? What kind of monster locks up a little girl in a place like this? Come on, sweetie. Come with me.
Really? But... you don't have to.
What?
Just leave me here. Run.
Did something happen? You'll get killed if you stay here. Why aren't you trying to run away?
Wherever I go, people die. They all die.
You were in foster care, weren't you? Did something happen?
No one can save me.
What are you talking about? You know something. Something really important. Tell me. What happened to you?
It's too late. No one can do anything now.
You know, I had a little girl once. She'd be about your age now. I couldn't protect her. But I won't let that happen again. I won't let them take another child from me.
So I'm a replacement. Are you helping me for her sake?
You're pretty smart. But that's not it at all. Nothing I do will bring my daughter back. Nothing I do will change the past. But you and I, we're still alive. And as long as we're alive, there's got to be something we can do to change the future. There's just gotta be.
Somehow, I'm not surprised to see you here.
Major, please. I'm begging you. Let her go.
I've got a reputation to uphold, you know. And it's already suffered enough, letting her escape me this long. Though, if you'd be willing to take her place. What a heartwarming display of selflessness, Olga. Truly. But I don't think my client would appreciate me giving them anything less than the merchandise I promised.
I knew it. You and Lavrov were in the trafficking business together. Was it money you wanted? Or to satisfy some sort of sadistic fantasy? On second thought, I don't want to know. I don't care. You're an officer in the Garmonian army, for God's sake! Someone like you operating a human trafficking ring inside Ruthenia. How could you possibly think you could escape international scandal?
International scandal. That's priceless. And just whose head do you think will roll if word of this gets out? Think back. You were always on your own, right? Never had a partner to help with your little investigation. I know you've got brains in that pretty little head of yours. So use them. Just how easy do you think it is ferrying hundreds of undocumented people across the border? How do you think we got them across? It's a near impossible feat without help.
Help? You had help? From the government? Both governments. Both countries knew about this!
You were the only one doing anything to try and stop it. Getting you out of our way would have been remarkably easy, but then this damn war started and we had to put the operation on hold for a bit. Be a good girl now. You're the last bit of inventory we have to load up.
No, wait!
Calm down. The contract specifies I hand her over, alive. But you, on the other hand, considering how you all but walked right into my open arms, we ought to have a little bit of fun together. Before the end.
It's just me, Borodin.
Ah. I didn't realize. I suppose I have to thank you. Samargal's help is the reason we're winning this war. That mech is yours, as promised. No one sees anything. No one says anything.
Good.
And please, rest assured, whatever it is you're doing here, isn't for any of us to know.
If there's something you want to say, just say it.
I'm sure there are many complex layers to this war that I can't even begin to imagine. And I have no intention of getting involved in any of them. That's all I want you to know. I understand very well what becomes of your organizations, of those who make an enemy of Samargal. It's my hope that we can maintain a favorable relationship in the future.
Very prudent of you, Borodin. What is this?
Just, personal affairs. Rest assured, it'll be taken care of shortly.
Your methods disgust me. It's an inexact science, accounting for the fates of little men.
Nothing in front of the power plant, not even bodies? Good work out there. Let's go report to Lieutenant Zazchev. What are you talking about? We don't need to know what the Zaftran army's after. Yeah, I know. Things are crazy with orders changing from one minute to the next. I can't believe we have to search for a goddamn kid. Whatever command came down from his superiors back home didn't sit well with Lieutenant Zazchev. He was super pissed. Could be he doesn't know much more than the rest of us. Anyway, we should get back to the search. Orders are orders.
They're looking for someone. I wonder what's going on.
Insufficient information. Searching for survivors in the vicinity. Transmitting coordinates to your device.
Well, where's that rundown factory Patrick wanted me to check out?
Northeast of here. It is the building encompassed by a concrete wall. There are 2 entrances, but it seems they are blockading the rear.
Error. Incorrect password.
21250403. We changed it, Ruslan. It's easy to remember. It's the day our hero died. Except... you were alive this whole time. I found Isaac's body in the sewers. Did you kill him? He and Boonin made that Wanzer here. You killed him to keep him from talking, didn't you?
He reaped what he sowed. You're the last person I expected to see here. Have you gotten caught in the crossfire as well?
Things have settled down since the riots. But nothing has changed. It's like the whole thing was some vivid dream. We've all done unspeakable things to survive. Even me. Either you sell yourself, or die. Some girls just never make it home at the end of the night. That's normal for this city. Tell me, who are you, really?
I can empathize, Sophia. Really. I can. But this is a necessary process in the grand scheme of things.
You deceived us all, Ruslan.
All I did was pretend our goals were the same, when they never were. I'm working for a greater purpose. For the future of all humanity.
Except us, right? We're just the tools you used and disposed of.
Do not put words in my mouth. However, I will do what I must.
So, are you going to kill me too?
Who was that guy?
What's a soldier doing here? It's rude to eavesdrop, you know.
You were a member of that liberation group. Just like that old runaway prisoner.
A runaway prisoner? You mean Leo? Do you know him?
Well, kinda.
I wonder if Leo lied to us too. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. I don't know anything anymore.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know that much about your movement. So maybe I'm not in a position to say anything, but... You were right there in the thick of things. Fighting every step of the way, weren't you?
What do you know about me?
Well, how can I? You've gone through a hell that I can't even begin to imagine. Back when your group was fighting for our liberation, I was just an idiot dreaming of Wanzers. Nothing could have prepared me for this. But you were a fighter. You are a fighter. You've still got it in you, don't you?
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I can do. I think you're starting to grow on me. I wonder if I can be like you someday.
Mikhail, I have a message from Patrick. He wants you to head to the harbor immediately.
Got it. So, what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm going to find Leo.
At least tell me your name.
It's Sophia. Sophia Alexieva. Be safe, soldier.
I made it. Somehow. Better find that bar. Sophie will be waiting.
I knew we would meet again, Leo. Yes, you did. Steps were taken to make sure of that.
You had us all eating out of the palm of your hand. Is that right?
No. My hand is not the one in control. I'm nothing more than a pawn. Just like you. Just like this entire country. Nothing more than pieces on a chessboard. Ruslan Izmailov, former leader of NGFP, the group that fought for Novoslava's liberation. That is who you know me as. In other words, you don't know me at all. Or the reason I'm here.
And what reason is that?
The future, Leo. The perfect future.
So you aren't going to tell me anything then?
I didn't want you to die. But the future doesn't seem to feel the same.
All right, Koshka.
Great. What am I supposed to do with his dead ass? Where are we with transport?
Sir, we've already completed work on one mech. The other is in progress in Warehouse 1.
This is taking a lot longer than it should. You useless piece of trash! I don't care if you want to go and get yourself killed. Just don't waste my precious time doing it!
Apologies, sir. It's because we had orders to look for that girl.
Fuck your orders! Why the hell are soldiers playing tag with a damn kid when there's a war going on? Forget about the kid! The Wanzer takes priority!
Yes, sir.
One's already been moved. Wait, there are two of these things?
The enemy soldiers in this vicinity are leaving. Now is your chance.
I better get to that warehouse. And fast. So this is it. I've never seen anything like it before.
There are fewer guards inside the building. I advise dealing with them first.
Makes sense. They wouldn't have wanted more people than necessary to see this thing. All right. This'll be a piece of cake.
They are still armed and dangerous, Mikhail. Do not take this lightly.
Well fought, Staff Sergeant Shuvalov. Apparently this mech is codenamed Volk. I did a brief analysis before you arrived. This was definitely manufactured here using those stolen plans.
This is what Zaftra wanted, isn't it?
Yes, it is. A Zaftran Corporation pilfered those plans and manufactured this mech here. Not that it really matters much now.
Why not?
Circumstances have changed. My job's done. Whatever happens now is out of my hands. How was your trip to the slums? Come back with any useful souvenirs? A kid? Oh, you mean Yulia Smirnova. She's one of the orphans Zaftra. Well, Simargl really was collecting. I heard she'd been taken away, but maybe she managed to escape. True. You are just an ordinary soldier. Makes sense you would know about them. Samargal's a nationalist group that controls pretty much all of Zaftra as we know it. Simply put, any power to be had, they have it. No laws can stop them. Every top dog in every organization belongs to Samargal. Every last aspect of life in Zaftra is under their thumb.
What are they doing here?
There's been constant fighting ever since this country split in two. Starting with that liberation movement. As a matter of course, when public safety takes a nosedive, the number of people without families or desperate for money skyrockets. And that was all part of the plan.
Of course more and more people are losing their families. Even I know how crazy high the crime rate is out there. Are you saying they're using those people to make money or something?
Samargal is using those people to research the effects of a certain virus. They had some idea of what it does, but they needed a much bigger sample size to research it further. The virus itself isn't very contagious since it's bloodborne. You practically have to be infected on purpose. That's why they arranged for this war to break out. That's why all these people have died. That's why all this blood has been shed. Who knows? I never said I had all the details. The one thing I am sure of is that they're planning something even more sinister than what they've already done. And there's nothing more I can do. The rest is up to HQ. I expect they'll be intervening soon. You should get out of here as fast as your legs will take you, Sergeant. Explaining everything was the least I could do. It doesn't matter what I tell you here, since after this is all over, the flow of information will be restricted anyway. There's an underground route that will lead you out of here, and straight into Newtown. I'll send a helicopter to pick you up from one of the buildings. Oh, and the person who gave me the evidence for all this will be heading that way too. You should meet up with her.
You didn't really think I'd let you escape, did you? Now talk. How much of what you just said was bullshit? You said that virus was bloodborne. Answer me! What happens if you get infected?
If you're gonna fool your enemy, first you fool your friends. A cruel tactic, but effective. Well, I'm still waiting for my people to fill me in on the details of their investigation, but I can hazard a guess. Apparently they call the MODS virus by another name. Euthanasia. So sadly, you'll probably die. How many people have you killed since setting foot in Novoslava? You never were anything more than a disposable tool to them. Ivan Zaschev.
I get it now. They were being literal when they told me to make it a bloodbath. Then all your loose ends tie themselves up in a nice little bow. You don't even have to kill them yourself. That's why they sent me to this shithole without any backup! You're coming with me! Our fates are intertwined now. Those bastards won't get away with using me!
Fill me in on what's happening here, Koshka. Where's that guy Sophie mentioned, and that Wanzer?
Koshka to D-105. Located a Ruthenian soldier together with a civilian. The enemy has captured them and is preparing to move them elsewhere soon.
Damn. No time to waste then. What about the Wanzer?
Location confirmed. Transmitting coordinates to your device.
Perfect. Here goes.
The enemy is withdrawing. You will not make it in time from here.
Don't worry, I got this. It ain't gonna be pretty, though.
What the hell's going on? You again. this your idea of a rescue? You're lucky it was me. Anyone else would have died.
Anyone else would say thank you. You look better than the last time I saw you, punk.
Guess that weasel ran off by himself. Apparently there's a helicopter heading for a building in Newtown. Hitching a ride on it is the only way out of this place. There's an underground route we can take to Newtown. Someone else is waiting down there too.
Get us there, Koshka.
One home run isn't gonna win you the entire game. Let's finish this. I don't exactly have time for any extra innings. You got another thing coming if you think I'm gonna roll over and die here.
You want to play ball? Then play with me. I'll stall him. Get underground. I'll meet you there. Now then, you ready to play in the Major League? I think I finally shook him off my tail. Koshka, what's it like on the ground in Newtown?
Garmonian troops have already taken control. I anticipate perilous conditions. It is the same everywhere in Novoslava, no matter where you go.
And we gotta roll these dice. On to Newtown.
If Patrick was telling the truth, then the helicopter will be touching down on top of that building over there.
Smack dab in the middle of enemy territory.
Still, what other option do we have?
So what's the plan?
I'll dive right into the thick of things and give them hell. Then, while they're busy dealing with me, you can secure a path to the top of that building.
Not a bad idea, kid. I'll clear the way up there. Count on me.
I've got some unfinished business to take care of here. Tell me if there's anything else I can do along the way.
Just let me know if you find the Wanzer that I can use. But don't go out of your way.
Got it. I'll come find you guys when I'm done.
Soon flourished. One day, a classmate of Mihai's granddaughter visited. I noticed the rose emblem. She laughed like a princess, and I found out later she was indeed the daughter of Erusia's new ruler. She was the connection to the royal bloodline everyone was looking for, the one to restore the monarchy. This new princess was truly a godsend for the Erusian people. If Mihai's granddaughters were like the moon, she was like the sun, around which everything seemed to orbit. Her face was so expressive. It's no wonder the people of this war-torn country instantly felt at ease when they saw her speeches. They started singing. The pilots of the support planes smiled, even though they wished their nation were independent from hers. Angelic. I wonder how Mihai felt about all of this. It was my job to research his neurological data, after all. I wish I could figure him out. Whatever his feelings were about losing his homeland, he kept hidden, even from me.
I had a chance to talk to one of the pilots that escaped back here, so I took it. Apparently, 2 of our planes took the enemy on alone. They covered the Allies so they could retreat. The hell kind of idiot does a thing like that? The last pilot to land back at the base was that scrawny anarchist dude. He always had this dumb grin on his face, like he didn't give a damn about whatever he did to get thrown in here with the rest of us. Was he the one who went gung-ho? I bought him a drink later. After the usual small talk, I turned the topic around to the mission. For an anarchist, he struck me as a bit weird. Nothing like what I expected. He talked a mile a minute and kept going on and on about library books. Not encyclopedias, those cheesy adventure novels you read in high school. Nothing against those. I like a good story myself once in a while. But I wasn't here to talk books.
I remember that day well. Amidst the swirling clouds, the fighter squadron was trying to help its allies reach safety.
He's pretty foolish, isn't he?
I thought so too. Suddenly, a highly skilled enemy fighter squadron appeared and began picking them off at the edges. One by one, they fell right out of the sky.
Although, I guess there was nobody around that was even more foolish to go to their aid then. So you simply watch things unfold from a distance.
Yeah. I mean, who would have ever thought that I'd just go and follow him straight into the enemy squadron like that?
After what felt like decades, I finally got to the info I was looking for. He wasn't the guy. He said he was just following his wingman's lead and managed not to die somehow. The hero on this mission was the new guy. The one that killed Harling. How did you feel?
I'm still kind of shaken up, actually. But you know, I do feel a certain sense of pride, too.
He really is foolish, isn't he?
Yep, he sure is.
I went to the hangar to have myself a closer look at Trigger's plane. I knew that burnt smell. That's what happens when an engine's been driven to its limit. This pilot was a hot dog. From now on, I was gonna keep my eye on this idiot. From a distance, though. I didn't want to get too tight with someone who was a better pilot than my dad. Even so, I decided to give this guy's plane a little bit of the old Avril magic touch. He needed all the help he could get. Suddenly, we were being treated like a regular unit. We'd been ordered to pack everything up and move the base further inland. We even got a transport plane. The funny thing is, no one here remembers I've got a bum leg and, oh, that I'm not a soldier. Take a look at the map. There's an island on the other side of Yuja our Marines landed on. The space elevator's not too far from there. They tell us the airfield's being used as a base to support the elevator. Not sure if I trust that intel. Anyway, the transport plane's gonna drop us there, without any fighters to cover us. Some genius thought we could commandeer the enemy's jets they left in the hangars, and use those to fight. Y'all aren't real soldiers, they said. Any other day we'd be using you lowlifes to go out and dig up landmines. And prisoners don't get guns. You'll just have to make do with whatever we give you and like it. A phone. They don't let us prisoners near them. But with all the hustle and bustle of moving the base, they forgot to lock this one up. Looks like an antique. I lost my right for a phone call ever since I was arrested and locked up. It's trippy to think that I can just hook it up, dial a number, and talk to someone from my own country. Planning escapes ain't all I'm good at. I'm plenty good at remembering phone numbers, too. A little while later, I headed over to HQ. You must know.
We did get a call direct from command. That pipe, what exactly are you doing with it?
My grandfather had a lot of friends in the Air Force from his time as a lieutenant. My point? Well, you're going to set out in your own special aircraft. Then you'll send everybody else off in the wrong direction while you head somewhere else.
All right, fine. But just you and you alone. You're the only one allowed on board. Besides, there's only one seat left.
I said cool. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So the liaison plane left without me. Yeah, I know. I'm heading into hell. Whatever. If the Khan's here and the dumbass prison guards are going, why shouldn't I? I'm no angel. I mean, my old man died playing hero, and All I do is hate him for it. It ain't gonna be a picnic, that's for sure. Adios, you damn fool.
I was born downtown, in our capital. When I recall my homeland, my thoughts are filled with the sights and sounds of the city. But home means something different to each and every one of us. Therefore, I've decided to visit every place where our citizens call home. The Kingdom of Erusia is a land of diversity. Each region has its own unique and special culture.
Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were as sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, it was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down. The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly, so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky. As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osia's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osia and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osian convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
To the unidentified Osean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Osean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Osean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right.
General, the Osean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Osean aircraft.
Losing his army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders. It should be a piece of cake.
Are you sent by the General Staff? No, we'd like you to send... I can't!
There are 3 scratches. What does that mean? The tail of that plane.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there's no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio.
It still works! I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness."
Just what did you see here? We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory had been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkans? Because this guy was a Belkan, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkan, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, It only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish, to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusea after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder.
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
I can't just snap my fingers and make a plane. Believe me, I wish I could. Right now, we needed one. Bad. When we were coming over on the boat, I remember seeing an aircraft carrier. That gave me an idea. The Admiral Anderson. The name of an old sailor. When the first drone started attacking, the ship wasn't ready for battle yet. It was still in the dock, getting all rigged up. So they rushed to get her ready. I know about Anderson. In the previous Osean War, he was the commander of a ship that sent out the last fleet of jets. They say the deck was sloping so bad as it sank, the last plane barely made it off. Those fighters ended the war. That story gives me a little bit of hope, especially at a time like this. We're all in the same boat, like it or not. If this war keeps going on like it is, it'll be the end of everything. The military loaded this thing to the rafters with planes. Some were fighters that were going to be delivered to bases in occupied territory. It was hit before it could complete the mission. Jackpot. The hangars were loaded with goodies. This Scrap Queen's got work to do. Can I use this? Hey, can you hear me? That craft is in peak condition. I even buffed up the canopy for a nice shine, so you can really see the sky. Take care, Trigger. When you get back, let me know what you saw.
Look, it's Trigger. Strider 1 has returned to radar.
I did it! That's our Trigger! He's a damn hero! No doubt, you're better than we.
Where's Strider 2? Damn it. Does anyone have eyes on Count?
Wish y'all could have seen that.
You damn fool. What's your position?
Watching Trigger climb. I guess it's my fate to watch from down below.
Yeah, well, we're all in the same boat there.
Yeah, well, I guess we are.
We're sending help. Give us your coordinates.
Directly under the space elevator. Elevation is minus 500 meters.
Minus? Hey, Trigger. You dumbass. Tell me something. What color's the sky up there?
We're on our way back from our 7-year mission to the asteroid belt. I can't tell you how proud I am to be the first to land at
Wait,
this
what was that
spaceport.
transmission?
This is Captain Kay Nagase of the spaceship Pilgrim 1. The ocean of stars in our galaxy is finally within our reach. To the pilot who generously gave this spaceship a place to dock, we are forever grateful. The universe lies ahead of us, waiting to be discovered. And now, at last, we have a gateway to ascend to it, over and over again.
It's all coming together for me. Today was the day, the moment of her return.
I salute the pilot who gave us all a future.
To skies unknown, the path to mankind's vast future remains standing, Granddad. The refugees built the settlement for themselves at the base of the space elevator. A humanitarian mission from Yuktovania airdropped some supplies for them again today. Thanks to the princess, the whole world was pitching in to help these people. Handing out the relief supplies would have been a perfect gig for that anarchist dude. But since he's dead now, the job went to the guy from Belka, George. I guess Tabloid got that new system he wanted in the end. Mihai's granddaughters are helping out too. Mihai. That cranky old geezer's here with us too.
I never wanted to create anything, and now here I am, clinging to life. Watching as my grandchildren and their generation make a new future for themselves and the world. Is this my punishment then?
All I do is lie here, wasting away. I'll never know the freedom of flying the open skies ever again. I've been grounded, and my wings have been clipped.
You know what having peace in the world means? It's being able to die in your own bed at a ripe old age. Peace is what those girls are working so hard for here. We got a bunch more refugees today. And the princess? She's looking to the stars. Dark blue. To the heavens and beyond.
Can you hear me?